Hello, I'm Dr. Dina Stacer. I teach parenting classes for people involved in conflict over custody and child sharing issues of their children. I teach parenting classes in San Diego on Tuesday evenings. And every time I have parents that come into the class, I have them introduce themselves. And then I always ask them a question. And one evening I had them go around and tell everybody their biggest fear about the conflict. One of the fears that one of the parents said, and everybody agreed, is this one. My ex, or the other parent if you weren't married, or you had a one-night stand, is a bad example to my children, i.e. moral conduct, excessive behavior, drinking, overdoing something that leads to negative role modeling. So most parents would say, yeah, I worry about that. And so the question is, how do you combat that? Well, first thing I want to tell you is that there's two fears that parents have about the breakup, about the conflict, about the other parent. The two parenting fears are, I'm going to lose the love of my children because of the breakup, the conflict, the other parent, or my children are going to be messed up by the breakup, the conflict, or the other parent. Those are the two fears. Now here's the good news. If I could guarantee you, I would teach you everything you needed to know so those two fears never came true. Would you stop worrying? Would you stop being afraid? Yeah, you would, because you would say, oh, I don't have to worry. My kid's going to be just fine. I know what to do. My kid's not going to be impacted by the other parent. But a lot of parents who are looking for answers are terrified that the other parent is such a bad role model. That person's negative influence. That person undermines you. That person will do anything to ruin your relationship with the children, that they run pedaling as fast as they can into fear. And they go back to court saying, you got to see that my ex is doing these bad things. And really and truly, you can go to court all you want to, and you might have some evidence, but a lot of times it's a he said, she said court. He said this, she said this, and if there isn't a lot of proof, you're kind of stuck with the fact that the child sharing arrangement is, we believe that both parents should be equally involved in the children's life. So unless you have something serious like DUIs or somebody's unconscious or they murdered somebody or whatever it is, most courts are kind of give it a big yawn and go, yeah, okay, stop, get out of here. Go take a co-parenting class. So what I want to do is give you the skills and the mindset to understand what you should worry about and what you have power over. Here's the thing, you have power. You have the power to switch up what you're doing with your kids. So bad influence. Now, see, if you just take the other parent and let's say they have bad behavior, maybe they are unstable, maybe they do have immoral conduct, maybe they're switching partners all the time. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in some of these high conflict situations. So let's say you legitimately have real concerns about the other parent, but the court's giving them significant amount of child sharing time. And so you're freaked out all the time. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, what you're doing isn't working because it's taking up space in your mind. You're losing life energy. But if you understand the power of building a village, building a castle, a boat around your children, what you want to do is invite your children to be raised in a world where everybody has massive skills. Let's say that there's three different kinds of people in the world. There's the people who have no money, and their world is limited. They don't have a lot of resources. They don't have a lot of options. They have a certain level of income. They have a certain mindset. They have scarcity mindset. They may or may not work. They may or may not have entitlement issues with getting some money from the government. Whatever. And so let's flip that into parenting. Those parents aren't the best parents. Now, once in a while, you're going to find a good parent in that mix. But for the most part, let's put all the people with that kind of mindset, that kind of upbringing, that kind of skill level into one category. Then the next level, let's call it the middle level. And the middle level are people who have basic skills. They can parent. They can go make money. They work for a living. Their kids maybe are in daycare or they get home and maybe somebody stays home and watches the children, one of the parents. Those parents do for their kids a lot. They provide them extracurricular activities. They take them to birthday parties. They have friends. They push them to get into college. They do the things that they're taught to do. And the kids basically have a great opportunity to have a decent life. They've got a pretty good middle class upbringing, let's say. And they have more resources than, let's say, the lower income or the poor mindset. And then there's the rich mindset. And it doesn't have to be rich in wealth, even though a lot of times those do go together. But let's call it the rich mindset or the big mindset or world-class mindset. That mindset is that those people, they have extra money, they have more resources, they understand the power of connecting with people and developing relationships that are going to be used not in a negative way, but as a team concept, helping everybody help each other. And they're in a place where they have higher level mindset about how they raise their children. There's a story that Malcolm Gladwell tells in one of his books about a kid who's he's raised in a lower class income level, but he's brilliant and he gets a chance to have a scholarship. So he goes off to college with a scholarship, and something happens at college and he gets in trouble and he gets kicked out. And on top of that, the mother doesn't ever fill out the scholarship monies for the next year, so the kid never has a chance. In the same vein, there's another guy who's from the higher end, where there's money and resources. His father is a banker, and this kid is as brilliant as this other kid. But this kid brings a gun to college. Well, guess what? The kid didn't get kicked out of school because that family knew how to make it go away. That family had the resources and the skills and the people to tap into and the mindset to know that that kid did something stupid. They knew how to deal with the system. When you're in the poor mindset, like in the court system, and you're duking it out thinking that I've got to prove to the courts my ex is a knucklehead, you're in that mindset instead of in the mindset where you go, how do I solve this problem? How do I make sure my kid's stupid mistakes go away and that we get my kid to a higher level? So that's where the resources come from. If you think about that as a parent in co-parenting, let's say we have one parent, your ex, the other parent, who has the poverty mindset. They're fierce, they're scarcity mode, they're punching and kicking and trying to get you back in the system, trying to keep you down, trying to prove you're a bad person. They're just really on a mission to search and destroy. But you figure out how to have a rich mindset. You understand there's riches out there, there's wealth out there, there's massive numbers of people out there. There's people out there that want you to succeed. They want your kids to succeed. You got to find them. They're there. They're people in the schools, right? Most teachers are teaching because they like taking care of people. They like helping other people. They like the positive they get when they've impacted a child's life. So you talk to them. You find parents who have the same mindset. You meet and network with people that have resources so that your child has a better opportunity to succeed, and you lean more on the scoring of giving them positive versus going into it's me against them, their parents. What you do is you invite people who have a higher mindset than the poverty mindset, and they can feed you in the direction that you need to go. There is so much power in raising the score of the number of people you invite into your child's life. So you say, well, I'm not really a social butterfly. Well, you know, what are you willing to do for your kids? You're fighting over the fact that your kid's not going to turn out okay, but you have in your head, and I'm teaching you all the resources you need to think differently. And that is, you will network with the people that count if it means you save your son or your daughter in the long run. When there's an issue that comes up, you know who to call. You get to the point where you understand that you need to invite 100 people that you respect to tell the truth if that parent lies. You need to find 100 people that have curiosity about learning, because this person kills learning, doesn't want to learn. You need to find 100 people that are creative because this person is manipulative, not creative. Well, creative in a manipulative way, but not a healthy way. So if you understand where I'm going with this, I'm planting the seed in your mind. You're building your fortress around your child, but you're building a village. You inviting the people that can make a difference in your child's life over time to step up and be part of your world. That's how you make that shift. Now, there's plenty more things I can talk about, not on this video, about scripts and dialogues and understanding kids and figuring out what they need and stringing pearls and building a whole bunch of resources for your son or your daughter. But for now, I want you to think about, who do you know right now that has really strong morals, a strong character, has the traits that you want your kids to pick up? And you start inviting them to be in your life. I want you to just make your list. And then once you're done with your list, then you think about what it is about those people that have those traits. And then you go to them and you say, you know, I really want to up the percentage that my child has a score to score up, instead of I'm afraid. Because you see, remember those two fears. I'm afraid I'm going to lose the love of my child, or I'm afraid my kids are going to be messed up. You have the power to fix that. You have the power. And I say that again, you have the power. If you get focused on the fight, you don't have the power. Your mind is focused on small mindset. You have the power. Go get to work. Dr. Dina, get moving.